anything about Jehoshaphat, he was Asa's son, and he's in the lineage of David. He was a king of Judah. So there was a northern kingdom and a southern kingdom that was split after Solomon. And Jehoshaphat was the king of the southern kingdom of Judah. And so Ahab was the northern king at that time. And we all know that Ahab was a wicked king. He was married to this woman named Jezebel that the Bible talks about as a wicked woman. And Ahab was a very passive man. Well, anyways, the background is Jehoshaphat allowed one of his offspring to marry Ahab's offspring. And so there was a union in between these two kings that God never was in. Like Jehoshaphat never went to God about asking him if this was a good union or allowing his child to marry into this family. So when this unity happened, King Ahab actually had went to Jehoshaphat and asked him to go against this other group of people that they were going to war against, and ended up biting him in his back in the long run. So they created a partnership that God was not actually in. And so in verse 18, 1 through, or chapter 18, verses 1 through 4, it says, in the third year of Hoshea, king of Elah, king of Israel, Hezekiah, the son of Ahaz, king of Judah. No, this is Second Kings. Sorry guys. Second Chronicles. I was like Ahaz. Second Chronicles. My bad. I was like, y'all should have called me out. All right. Now Jehoshaphat had great riches and honor, and he made a marriage alliance with Ahab. Okay, he had great riches and honor. What does that communicate to us? He was comfortable. When we're comfortable, what happens to our discipline oftentimes? Slides right off. His discernment was off. After some years, he went down to Ahab in Samaria, and Ahab killed an abundance of sheep and oxen for him and for the people who were with him, and induced him to go up against Ramoth-Gilead. Ahab, king of Israel, said to Jehoshaphat, king of Judah, will you go with me to Ramoth-Gilead? He answered him, I am as you are, my people is your people, we will be with you in the war. And Jehoshaphat said to the king of Israel, inquire first of the word of the Lord. This is interesting, right? So like what I said, Jehoshaphat never went to the Lord after that question was asked of him from Ahab. And later on in the story, we realize that there was tragedy that came upon the house of Judah at that time. And so Jehoshaphat, he started off really well, and in his riches and fame got comfortable. He grew to that place of comfortability, and his discipline slid right off. And in my life, I realized that there have been moments where I've just allowed myself to get way too comfortable. I'm like, oh yeah, I got this. Like I'm in the rhythm now, in the Lord. My discernment gets off, and then I make unwise decisions. And I actually put God out of my mind, and I try to do things on my own. We're in the middle of, this is a simple thing, we're in the middle of like on the market to buy another car. And I got in this argument with my spouse, my wife, because she was like, hey, like, I think God wants us to ask him about a minivan, like, and I believe he has the right minivan for us. I'm like, why do we got to over spiritualize this? It's just like, let's just go and do it. And so I'm like, yeah, in my pride, I'm just like, oh, we don't need to go to God about this. Like, I got this. He doesn't need to be in this decision. It's not that big of a deal. It's a car. But then it was just like, man, I just realized that, man, I'm so prideful. And like, it was actually a simple thing that like God was addressing to me through my wife. There was actually a very deep issue that I realized I was facing, is that, man, there's so many moments where I just think that in my own strength that I can like do this. And then I end up making a bad decision, and something ends up not being what I thought it would be. And it's because I never went to God about it and asked for discernment. So we want clarity. We want to wait on the Lord. And it's also a warning for us not to partner with wickedness. The Bible says, how can two be together if they're unequally